Yeah, we got a couple new changes to the chew clock scenarios and the scoring when you're ahead in games. So what we came up with is if past halftime, uh, the margin of the spread of the points is
We may have technical difficulties. Nigel, are you still there?
Maybe his headset might have gotten off. I think. Well,
what we're going for
I know
here,
where you were going.
it's like high school football. Like once you're, I believe the number we're going with is 28 points. If you're
35.
above 35, something like that, if that's the margin of victory at that moment, both teams have to hit chew clock. We're trying to avoid these games where...
I might be wrong. I might be wrong in that. I'm actually thinking I'm thinking the 35 is if you're ahead 35, that's when you basically got to stop, like, scoring, like, and, trying to pad your stats, put up points, obviously.
Yeah, you would have to kick field goals or chew clock at that point, or you can still take defensive interceptions or fumbles to the house.
Exactly.
This is just to limit... for a perfect example, we had like some games last Madden18 where the quarterback stats were ridiculous, and it screwed up a lot of MVP races or quarterback races. And it was just because garbage throws. Okay, let's just nail it down to exactly what it is. You're losing by 21 points. All of a sudden, you're going to give up on your game plan when most NFL teams are going to stick to their game plan. They're going to be like, all right, well, we're not going to win this one. We're going to put our backups in. We're going to get some reps for everyone. Or, we're going to focus on what we want to do as a team and build on that for the next week. So we don't want to see a team go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, bombing it on 3 consecutive drives just because they're losing by 21 points. We're looking for realistic simulation football. In a nutshell, and I'm pretty sure that's how Nigel would feel about this as well. So when you're up 28, both teams would then have to hit a chew clock, which if you think about it in the real NFL, many times you see the play clock height at like 1 or 3 seconds. It's almost every down because they have to read the mic, they have to diagnose the defense, they're going to play call, make schemes at the line's talking, all these things. So for us to put a chew clock on in those type of situations, I don't think it's going to hurt the users so much, because I've been on the side of a drumming where I'm like, I just want this game to be over. I came in flat, unprepared. Can we stop? So I think that with the competition level in this league, we're not going to see the chew clock too many times. Hey, what's up, man?
Oh, my bad. My controller died.
Oh, no, you're good.
Oh,
I
you're
was
good.
sitting there talking to you guys, and I was like, it's really quiet. Then I looked down, and my controller was dead. Sorry about that.
Unprofessional.
I just picked up right where you had left off.
I actually had a question since we got him back here too.
Okay.
I know last year we were kind of a little lenient towards some of the teams, not saying our host as being one of them, but our host was one of them a couple times, about running the ball 10 times a game. I mean, I don't think anybody really has a problem with 10 times passing a game, except for like 1 or 2 people because they're up a million points.
Yeah.
But did you guys discuss anything about making teams have to run it 10 times? Because we were real lenient on that rule.
I thought
we should have.
10 times is the barometer that they should have to, but I think in any real situation, it should be roughly like a 70% one way or the other at the most. So we shouldn't be seeing teams like passing the ball 40 times and running 9. If that's the case, then it shows that you weren't really focused on doing what is best for the league as a whole. We want people to be competitive, and we want someone to walk in and want to win every game, all that kind of shit. But what really makes the league better is everyone wanting to make the league better, not just them as an individual. And I think that's what it's going to come down to. as far as
Are
it'll be
we-
like a
And
self-policing.
and to go off that just a little bit more, it's really on a game-to-game basis. And us as commissioners, us as admins, we really have to cut down and look at these games in depth because you can have one game where you didn't get the opportunity to run the ball 10 times, but if you show within the complete season that you were actually trying to run the ball and do these things, it doesn't make sense for us to go in and just say, oh, this one game you didn't run the ball 10 times, you're
Right.
suspended. But if we
That's too
see
much.
throughout, 4 games, 5 games, you consistently running the ball 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, you will be warned. And then if you continue, if you proceed to run the ball, below what the rules state, or pass the ball below what the rules state after you've been warned, you will be penalized. Whether it be suspension of the player, suspension of the user, whatever us as admins and commissioners come up with. But it will be a game-to-game thing. We're not going to automatically look at a game and be like, oh, you didn't run the ball 10 times.
True.
Um,
No, I
it- it will-
understand that.
you-
I just know that was one of the ones that, like, you get a message from somebody during, like, after a game, and they'll be like, were they able to do this? And we're like, well, I mean, it was kind of one of the ones we kind of let slide a little bit, but it was like, all right, at a certain point, a lot of these teams were just, like, literally running the minimum, like, every game.
I think
I
to answer
was
your
one of them.
question best is we, as a whole, as admins and commissioners, we're going to be a lot more stringent, I think, overall as far as rulings and sticking to what we have established as rules. We have a large base of users. Technically, we have more users than we do have teams at this point. I know some of the people are MIA or have other things going on. We have 3 teams yet to fill officially, but we're not in the same places that we were, like, say, last October, where we're shy a couple teams, some people leave, and then we're shit out of luck and we're bitching that we have CPU games. It's just not the case. We can be a little more strict. We're not going to be assholes by any means, and like I don't think anyone here has that agenda whatsoever. So, no, I think it'll just be more fair, if anything.
Yeah, I went a little into detail on that before my unprofessional mic cut out. But we will be more strict. I know when we set it up last year, admins, commissioners, they're a little scared that being strict on people is going to have people quit and you weren't going to have a full league. But as Gatto said, we have a really good core of users right now that we feel that, try to play sim by the rules on their games. So if we keep that core and we create this, culture, then if people don't like that, then they're going to leave. You can
And
see if
people
we're
who
more
want it will
lenient,
come.
like we were
It's-
last year,
yeah.
people will leave as well. So why not try to be strict now, set the guidelines, and create the sim culture to where, next Madden trade rules we have in our league, we have to make trades like this. But right now, these rules may seem extremely excited, but just because we're drawing that hard line in the sand saying, you know what, no more, let's start off new and let's start sim. And this is what we're trying to build. If you're with us, build with us so this can flourish. If you guys aren't, we're glad having you here, but this is what we're trying to do from here on out. So if you do cross those lines, like you said, we're not going to be assholes. We'll warn you guys. We'll message you guys. Hey, what happened in your game? You give us an explanation. Okay, that can't happen again. Once you get that warning, if it happens again, you will be punished. Like Acid said, a lot of things went under the rug last year, but this year we will be handing out suspensions, player suspensions, user suspensions, whatever admins and commissioners we talk about and we feel is the best for each situation.
And I mean, this is kind of closing up on our commissioner corner segment here, but I want to ring home of this, like, we haven't really said it much, but Beam, Mixer, whatever you want to call it, Twitch, if you do this, if you broadcast your games, it allows us to police whatever you're talking about that much better. Like, we can literally go back, watch game film, and judge it for ourselves as admins, commissioners, or your peers. For gameplay, it adds another nuance, immersion level to the game experience in game planning. So I would highly recommend everyone broadcast their games if at all possible. Would you agree? I think that's most of the rules that we really had major adjustments in. If anyone has any issues or questions, we're more than readily available to answer any. And the rules were updated and placed in the Madden18 section in Slack as well, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and if you
they're
guys want,
updated and placed in there.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead, answer,
and
sorry.
then anybody that listens to the show, if you have any questions or any feedback that you think that we should probably hear or want to talk about, please send us feedback in either Madden18 or in the podcast channel.
Absolutely. Now, I don't know if Nigel has a lot more time with us, so I would like to kind of give him a chance to have like a coach interview. Another large segment, the big reveal, is what I would like to have on tonight's Squadcast. We're going to announce the users with their teams, and I figure we can start in the AFC and NFC South at first, being that Nigel's the Titans. We're going to start right away with the Titans. Let me get back to my notes, make sure I'm on the right spot.
Titans.
The Titans need some shine. They had probably one of the best off seasons. I got some information off Bleacher Reports. I kind of made an off-season grade for all 32 teams with a pro and negative. So we're going to start with the Titans. Their top player is Delaney Walker, the tight end at a 93 overall. Pros for their offseason, they addressed their needs at wide receiver and in the secondary. Secondary added Logan Ryan, Cyprian from Jaguars at strong safety. Draft picks, they added Davis at wide receiver out of Western Michigan. He looks to be the number one coming into the season. Other key signings, they signed Eric Decker. Negative, questionable backup quarterback situation with Mariota coming off a major injury. But overall, I'd give them an A for their off-season grade. And Coach Nigel, do you have any comments going into the
Nigel
season?
goes home.
Nigel goes home.
I get to go home, man. I love my Titans. I give my Titans. I saw my Titans.
No more Derrick Henry. I need to trade for talk.
I wanted to trade for the whole team the way they got thrashed in our last league.
Yeah,
so that hurt
In the
me
rules,
pretty
it
bad.
said no Monster Henry allowed. So you're gonna work around that.
Derrick Henry was born a monster, so he's already breaking rules. I'm sorry. But yeah, hey, I'm excited, man. I'm excited to get back to the Titans. I know you guys are going to go more in detail to who else is in that division, but we really have a good division there. We have two other users in there. It's going to be a really tough division. You're going to earn your playoff spot, and I like that. Coming from the Bills in that division, we really had inconsistent users coming in and out. It really wasn't fun, having a just easy walk into the playoffs every season. It wasn't fun. Yeah, but I'm just excited.
So
Extremely excited.
I have two questions for you that come to the top of my head. Who will be the Titans' probably number one rival in the South this Madden 18?
That's like I said, that's extremely hard because both the Texans and the Jags, Los and Juan, are extremely good users. Extremely good users. So I mean,
I'm anticipating
both of
some
those-
defensive battles in that division, some low-scoring games. Run-heavy offense, probably from Chef.
Chef's
Oh,
the
Chef
Broncos now.
jumped.
He
jumped.
switched over
Yep.
to the Broncos.
Yeah,
the
Chef
Broncos.
ran away.
Other question: do you plan on trading DeMarco Murray with you so keen on Derrick Henry?
It just depends. I'm gonna look into DeMarco Murray's cap penalty situation. I'm gonna look into the needs of my team. I know we need some more cornerback help. I'm not too sure about our cornerback situation, and I would like to revamp a little bit my defensive line and linebackers. But it like I said, it all depends on his cap penalty. If his cap penalty is too high, and maybe I don't get great offers because he is pretty old out there in age. It would be great to keep him around, just in case of injury to Derrick Henry, or even just running two running back set.
I was gonna say you don't need a running back. You can make anybody a running back. We've already proved that.